I used to think health class was just another hour of my life I'd never get back. You know the drill. Posters about nutrition, awkward diagrams, worksheets no one cared about. That Tuesday afternoon felt exactly the same until... It wasn't. I was halfway through drawing a galaxy in the margin of my notebook when the lights suddenly flicked off. The room fell into this hush, the kind that makes the hairs on your arms stand up. Mr. Jensen clicked the projector remote, and a stark white slide filled the board. It said, "Teen Facts." I let out a quiet sigh. Here we go again. But then the words changed, and the air in the room shifted. It felt thick, heavy, almost electric. A new slide appeared since the popular push for contraceptives for teens began. Teenage sexual activity and pregnancy have increased 400%. I straightened up in my seat. 400%. That wasn't just a number. That was an explosion. Whispers rippled across the room, fast and sharp, like everyone inhaled at the same time. Mr. Jensen didn't slow down. The next slide came up. 70% of unwed teen mothers will go on welfare. Someone in the front row gasped, and it echoed in my chest. I started thinking about girls I knew, girls who already seemed so weighed down by life. Girls who were scared, who didn't have anyone telling them they had the power to choose differently. Before I could even catch my breath, the next number hit. Of teens who marry because of pregnancy, 60% will be divorced within 5 years. The words felt like a punch, not because I planned on getting married anytime soon, but because suddenly, this wasn't about now. It was about later. And later had always felt like this blurry, distant thing, but in that moment, it wasn't distant at all. It felt like it was standing right next to me, breathing down my neck. The projector hummed. No one spoke. Even the class clown didn't dare break the silence. I looked around at my classmates, all these kids trying so hard to act grown up. Kids who thought consequences were just stories adults told to scare them. Kids who didn't realize that one single decision at 15 could follow them into their 20s, their 30s, and for the rest of their lives. And then there was me, just sitting there, realizing that the future wasn't some mystery waiting out there for us. It was being shaped right now, in these tiny choices that no one ever warned us would matter so much. When the bell finally shrieked, it felt wrong, too loud. Too cheerful? Too normal after what we'd just heard? I gathered my stuff slowly, like moving too fast might shatter something. My friend Ari fell in step beside me as we left the classroom. That was... intense, she muttered, her voice low. Yeah, I whispered back. It really was. She tried to make a joke about it, but the humor just didn't land. Not today. Not after those numbers. We walked down the hallway, past couples leaning into each other, past kids flirting like life was a movie, past conversations about weekend plans and rules being broken. Everything looked the same as it always had, but I felt different. It was like someone had turned up the contrast on reality. When I pushed open the heavy metal doors to go outside, a blast of cold wind hit my face. It felt like the world was telling me, "Wake up." I stood there for a moment, watching my breath cloud in the air, just letting it all settle. Those statistics weren't just numbers on a slide. They were warnings. They were stories of futures that started with choices no one thought through. Lives shaped by moments meant to be just fun, or casual, or no big deal. My heart was thudding in my chest. I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want my story to start with regret. Right then and there, standing in the cold, surrounded by all the laughter and drama and people pretending to be adults, I made a choice. A quiet one, but a powerful one. I was going to guard my future. I was going to choose differently. I decided I was going to value myself enough to say no when everyone else was saying yes. Not because a teacher scared me or because someone tried to guilt me, but because, for the first time, I finally understood what I was worth. What my future was worth. And maybe that's how real change happens. Not with fireworks or big speeches, but with something as simple as a teenager standing in the cold, deciding she won't be just another number on a slide. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time!